it's an interesting structure of the movie that it's like the rise and fall of the family business, but in the Vito story, it's only the rise. We don't see the rise and fall
Right.
of Vito. We just see the rise of Vito. And in the Michael story, we only see the fall of Michael. We don't really see. Um, we, I mean, in the first movie, we saw more him rising to power, but this movie is all about things collapsing around him. Whereas with Vito, it's just about him building it up. And so it's interesting that, especially with the Vito part of it, I'm so used to seeing a story where, okay, there's going to be the successful time, and then eventually things are going to go badly
Right.
for him, and it's going to fall apart. But it never happens to the Robert De Niro Vito character. He just ends on a good note.
That's what I was thinking while watching this was like these almost feel like two different movies. You know, you have the one Vito, and that feels like its own thing, and you have Michael with its own thing. Obviously, thematically, they intertwine very heavily. But then, thinking about it afterwards, I'm like, if you just took the one, if you just took the Vito story, that's not a movie because it's just, one direction. There's no, I mean, there's kind of a conflict when he kills a few people, but like, it's all good stuff that happens to him. He gets what he wants. It's all his rise. And with Michael, if they took that Vito story out, this would be such a depressing movie. I feel like it'd be a really hard watch, and you'd just be watching these bad things happen and just no joy. And like you wouldn't feel any excitement really. It's just kind of like it's almost dread. That whole section of the movie just feels very heavy and weighty. And like there's so many problems that he's dealing with, and he just doesn't look happy. But you have the Vito story to balance that out. And so it's almost like on their own, either both stories like aren't enough on their own, but together they do make this perfect match. And it's just so like I don't know how they thought of that. At what point in the process were they like, we got to combine this just to make the one overarching story work? And you have these two storylines that don't work on their own,